Beedrill lead strategy. Hello, it's MattyFBaby here with some more Jungle Cup action, and today we're looking at my second tournament, my weighted tournament, and we use a Beedrill lead strategy that I first saw on I Am Ryzn's live stream. A trainer by the name of Cody, who is an ace trainer, like top 15 global. I just noticed that he was always leading with Beedrill and having Vigoroth and Lantern in the back. I watched about half of that tournament. I decided to try practicing and seeing what that was all about. So what I found out was, with the Beedrill lead strat, even if you lose the lead, you are still looking good, and maybe even in a better position than if you win the lead, alright? Because you can switch in your Vigoroth onto the Beedrill counter, which is typically an Alolan Graveler, Golem, Noctowl, or a Venomoth, and once you do that, you will get an energy advantage with your Vigoroth, and when they bring in their Vigoroth counter, you already have an energy advantage 9 times out of 10, unless somebody is the fastest switcher in the West. So at that point, you were able to maintain switch advantage for the rest of the match. Typically, you can either win a shield advantage or completely take out the Vigoroth counter and have a little bit of energy to go into the next Pokemon with. It's a very solid strat. I hope that everyone that watches this, if you have a Jungle Cup, hope that you try to practice this strategy. And I'm working with some people right now to try to figure out a good way to beat this strategy as well, because it can be pretty hard to beat it in a best of 3 series. Yeah, and I did really well. PV Poke also used this strategy during his tournament the same day as mine, where he won his tournament. And yeah, so that's a little bit about the strategy. You're gonna always lead with Beedrill, and even in situations where you lose the lead, like I said, that's just playing into my system. And you might think, Graveler, Golem, Noctowl, well, wouldn't Lantern be a better counter for those than the Vigoroth you're bringing in? Yes, it is, but it's not a safe switch, and you don't want to bring in your Lantern on one of those and then have a Grass Boy come in and eat you up. So the great thing about this strategy is that Beedrill is going to eliminate the Vigoroth counter, or the Vigoroth lead, and also the Vigoroth safe switch-in. So that pretty much just takes that whole strategy of using Vigoroth as a lead or the safe switch in onto a bad lead. It eliminates that strategy for your opponent as well. So that's what we like about this strategy, and let's go look at some games. Let's go look at how my tournament went. It's gonna be a short little tournament run, only 3 rounds, but there was 2 challengers I faced. 50% of the 8 people there were challengers. A lot of good competition. I hope you enjoy. Jungle Cup is starting. Yeah, I'm not nervous. I've never been nervous. I'm always nervous. Yeah. All right, so game 1, we're going in against an ultra friend of mine, and we actually did a little bit of practice like a week before this. It's a Beedrill versus Beedrill. My strategy here is to try to get him to use one of his charge moves that's not gonna be super effective against me, and then I switch in my Vigoroth to try to get that energy going. Even though Beedrill counters Vigoroth, I do that switch thinking maybe he'll switch, and also since he just uses energy, he will be a damaged Beedrill, and I will, be able to get to my moves a little faster than him. So that was the strategy there. That was the mindset there. And he brings in a Heracross, and I'm almost able to take down the Heracross, and I'm also able to get rid of one of his shields. So now I have a Beedrill that is over here packed with energy, and right here I shouldn't I was kind of worried he had Earthquake, so I should have just let myself tank that, because close combat as well as Mega Horn, we're gonna resist both of those. But I was like kind of afraid about the Earthquake, so he brings in a Graveler, and then I switch into my Lantern because Beedrill, he wants no part of that. So then comes in an X Scissor, and I block that, and I get to farming up, send off my Thunderbolt, and yeah, I love the Thunderbolt animation. So I don't really play this match very well. I make a huge mistake coming up, which you'll see my huge mistake. Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get to another Thunderbolt, and we're unable to before the X Scissor comes in. So he's able to take down my Lantern, and when I come back in with my Beedrill, I just fire off a charge move, and I wasn't meaning to do that. I was meaning to take him down on fast moves and have some charge moves ready to go for the Golem or the Graveler that's in there. So that's a really bad play on my part, but that's okay, because you always want to learn from the losses in a best of 3 and just try to take that into the next match. So here he switches leads. I'm not sure why he was thinking Heracross. I guess maybe he thought I was going to go for a Vigoroth lead, but I don't. We know that X Scissor will hurt the Heracross. Bug does not resist itself. It does not resist the bug. We both have a teensy bit of lag at the same time. And here he switches into Venusaur. I noticed that it's a Razor Leaf Venusaur, and I'm like thankful that I had this matchup, because this is a A1 matchup for us. We really enjoy this matchup. I over farm a little bit because, like I said, it's Razor Leaf. It's not going to get to its charge moves very fast at all, and that's what I like about facing Razor Leaf Venusaur as opposed to Frenzy Vine Whip Venusaur. But right here, I definitely shield here because I have a buttload of energy on my Beedrill, and I want to save that for later. So he ends up making me tie him in the shield game. Yeah, he wins that battle right there. So GG to you, Galron. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just get to water gunning. He's going to X Scissor us again, and then we're going to send off a Thunderbolt his way. And yeah, we elect not to shield here as well. We want to save one of our shields in the back. And we get a bunch of excellent. Comment down below if you appreciate my excellent charge move game. Cause I hit him a decent bit. I hit him pretty frequently at this point. But anyways, he exits us down, and we're gonna go ahead and bring in the Vigoroth and try to down him on fast moves. We know that we can't take this move right here, and we're gonna shield that and then send a Body Slam off and expel the Heracross. Bada boom, bada beep bo. Peace out, Heracross. And then yeah, we finish up the Beedrill in the back too with the counter. Now we have Beedrill versus Beedrill again here, and we're gonna do the same thing where we want our Beedrill to eat one of the fast moves. We're kind of worried that it's Aerial Ace right here, but I'm just crossing my fingers I'm not going to get Aerial Ace, and I don't. Because if I got to Sludge Bomb, that means that he could also get to Aerial Ace. So we got lucky there, but we switch into our Vigoroth, over farm a little bit, trying to get to 2 Body Slams on this Heracross, break some shields, get some HP down on this thing, and we do get through the second Body Slam, so we got his HP down. Now we're wondering, can we get a shield gone? We do have a shield gone, so he brought in the Vigoroth counter, and the Vigoroth was able to do work on its counter. That's what's so good about this strat, is once you get an energy lead in on a Vigoroth counter, and here's where I learned from my mistake earlier, I tank the close combat and go ahead and down him on fast moves. We're worried that he has the Goal or the Graveler coming back in. We're like, just don't want to take any fast moves, so we just send an X Scissor off, and then we send another one and try to switch in to our Lantern, thinking if he doesn't shield this, maybe we can down the Graveler before he's able to do anything. But he does shield that, and then in comes his Beedrill again. That's okay. Yeah, because we have 2 shields still left over, and we're gonna be using them on this Beedrill, just trying to save our Lantern for the rest of this Graveler. And yeah, we don't mind this at all, even though it turns out to be 2 X Scissors. We just really did not want to take a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb hurts your Lantern really bad. I don't over farm because I want this HP going into the Graveler matchup at the end. And yeah, we're able to down his Graveler before he gets to a charge move. So GG on round 1. And now we're playing a Challenger for round 2. We have a great lead to start. We're trying to hit an X Scissor before he switches out, and we're able to do that. So that's going to cause him to burn a shield or take massive damage. So, pretty massive damage, for a Venusaur. That's pretty massive. In comes his Vig, and you might be thinking, well, why not just let your Beedrill finish this out? Because my Beedrill I need that for the Venusaur. I don't want my Vigoroth fighting the Venusaur if the Venusaur has an energy advantage, and I don't want my Lantern fighting it either. So that's why I do switch into the Vigoroth, and we're able to get rid of one of his shields and almost finish off the Vigoroth. So I come back in with my Beedrill, and now I send an X-Scissor right away, hoping to get his last shield down or his Vigoroth down. And I do make a mistake at the end of this match as well. I just, in the heat of the moment, I forgot that I never completely finished the Venusaur, and it almost cost me round 1 of this match. So I almost lose round 1 of all 3 of my matches. I mean, no spoilers on the final round, but yeah, so in comes Lantern. And we're like, alright, let's get some poison or some sludge bombs off, because that's really gonna hurt a Lantern. The Lantern wants no part of our sludge bombs. It can tank a few more X-Scissors than it can 2 sludge bombs, and I make a mistake where I don't overfarm a little bit. I just get it ready to roll, and I immediately send it. So I should have tried to overfarm a little bit to where maybe I have a chance to send an X-Scissor off at this Venusaur, but I forgot I didn't down him there in the heat of the moment. I forgot, but we were able to tank the Frenzy Plant and at least get 2 more poison jabs off. But here comes a Frenzy Plant, and then we're both going to be racing to down each other on fast moves. And I just, by the hair of my chinny chin chin, am able to get him down. So yeah, there the Venusaur goes down. Now we have the same lead matchup. He's not going to take the X-Scissor. I'm thankful that I didn't throw it off, but in comes the Graveler, so of course we're going to switch to Vigoroth and try to farm up a little extra energy and maybe burn a shield. I didn't want to try to down him on just counters, so I eventually do a body slam. I do a body slam. Do a body slam, and yeah, I do get him to burn a shield. I know he's going to resist that heavily, but that's okay, because I was just either trying to finish him off or burn a shield. And we have tons of energy going into the next match, which is a Vigoroth on Vigoroth, and we're able to send one away right away, and then send one right before we die. So we got 2 body slams off on the Vigoroth that came in. And that's what's so great about this strat, is that once you switch into your Vigoroth, usually you're able to get so much energy that it really gives you a lead. Really turns the match in your favor. Even if you have a bad lead to start, switching in your Vigoroth first, if you get 2 or 3 counters ahead of their Vigoroth or their Vigoroth counter, it can be really fruitful for you. Yeah, so we have our Lantern now, and we're saving our shields and trying to down him on just fast moves. We get kind of scared at the end, but we know we have a fully charged Beedrill, a fully healthy Beedrill in the back that also has energy, so we're not that worried about it because we also have a shield. So that's I didn't want my Lantern to go down, so I know he's only like 2 more hits maybe of Water Gun, but I was just like, let's get him down, because I know in the back I have my Beedrill. I'm not going to let the Venusaur sneak up on me like I did the last game. And I remembered, I know I have the shield, and I know I have a Beedrill that's locked and loaded from the very start of the match. And that's what's so clutch about this. Now we're playing a challenger that I beat barely by the hair of my chinny chin chin round 5 of my first Rainbow Cup. But as you see, he instant switched the second I switched into a Vigoroth, because he knows the strat. We had just played like the first, up to this point, we had a little lag right here in the first match. So he was a great sport and asked if we wanted to run it back and stop right there and restart it, so we did that. It was very good sportsmanship on his part to offer that, because I did lag for a counter or 2. I think it was 2 counters. But yeah, that can turn a match. 2 counters can turn a match. So yeah, he's able to down my Vigoroth, and I'm able to down his Vigoroth now and have the shield advantage and Beedrill with some energy, but now with a lot of health. And we go for the Sludge Bomb before we die, and yeah, we are just able to get it off, and that's going to do a lot of damage on his Lantern. He elects not to shield that, so that was really big for us. Now he has a Thunderbolt coming our way. We have 2 shields, he has 1, so we're going to go to town over here trying to down him with our Water Gun fast moves. We end up having to use only 1 of our shield we use here. We save 1 for the Pokemon that's in the back, and we were like, come on, please down him on our fast moves, like please, and I did. So very thankful that happened. In comes the Fortress. I immediately do a Thunderbolt, which we know is going to get shielded, but we had a lot of energy, so that's good, and we have enough to go hit another Thunderbolt right back. Maybe I should have went for the Hydro Pump, But I was getting kind of scared because I was low in health, so we're able to just water gun, and yeah, he downs us. So I make a mistake there of dying with the shield, which it sucks to lose a game with a shield, but what can you do? Anyways, here you go, another instant switch, and that's what really someone has to do to give this lineup a problem, is they have to be ready to go on their switch game when you switch into your Vigoroth. So he did a really good job of that. I ended up using one of my shields, and now I'm trying to fire 2 body slams back to back. Yeah, we're trying to fire 2 back to back, and we are able to. So I believe that he's going to shield both of these, and yeah, so now I have the shield advantage, and he has a Vigoroth that is almost dead, but has a chance to go get another body slam off. We bring in our Beedrill and then send the X Scissor before he's able to get another body slam off. Boom, and he goes down. He's going down. All right, so in comes the Fortress. We're just gonna farm a little bit of energy and then switch over to our Lantern. Right here, I timed the switch well, and I was thinking it's not gonna be Earthquake. It should be a Rock Tomb or a Heavy Slam, because you don't need to do Earthquake on the Beedrill that was almost dead like that. So that's why I didn't shield there. I was not worried about Earthquakes at that moment. Yeah, he did a Thunderbolt, and yeah, now it's our turn to do a Thunderbolt. I'm pretty sure I just shielded that Thunderbolt, and yeah, I did. So now we're trying to down him on our fast moves again, so that we can send off a Thunderbolt or a Hydro Pump at his Fortress when it comes back in. Yeah, so we're gonna, like I just said, we're gonna try to down him on our fast moves, and we're able to do that. We have enough energy for a Hydro Pump, and we're gonna send that flying straight at his Fortress. And we know that our Beedrill in the back, low health, does have some energy. So that's, even though it's a terrible matchup for Beedrill because it resists everything we have to throw at it because we don't have Aerial Ace, we know that it's gonna almost be dead. And yeah, we're able to do 2 X Scissors back to back and finish it off. So that's what's so great about this, is just you're able to usually farm a good bit of Beedrill energy at the start of matches. So now we have Fortress versus Beedrill. We do an instant switch, and this is probably his slowest switch of the round. We do get a teensy energy advantage, with the other times we didn't really get an energy advantage because he was just so fast on the switches. Very good job, FarmD. That's his name, FarmD. Anyways, we're going to, body slam on body slam. The Vigoroth on Vigoroth crime in this town is out of control. But yeah, us just over here doing it excellent on our body slams, and we're over here burning both his shields and saving one shield for us for later. And that's what I did a lot in these matchups. I didn't want to burn both my shields on this matchup because I know Beedrill can usually come in, either tank a hit and put him down, or not tank a hit and put him down before that. So I'm going to tank this body slam and just get to farming. After that, he is going to bring in the Fortress again. So right here, we switch out to our Lantern, and he doesn't switch out. So yeah, we're curious about what he has. And right here, I am scared of the Earthquake. So this time, he's able to shield bait me. Last time, I was able to switch to tank the Heavy Slam because I knew it wasn't going to be an Earthquake, but this time I was worried about the Earthquake, not gonna lie. So we were able to hit the Thunderbolt and then get him down, almost down, but he gets the Earthquake this time. So our Lantern goes down, and now we have our barely alive Beedrill versus whatever his last Pokemon is. And here it is, Vespiquen. We know that 2 Sludge Bombs will pretty much do it, and I have enough for 1, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I have enough for 2. So all that energy I farmed on Beedrill earlier saved me at the end. I'm able to down him after 1 more Poison Jab and take this tournament. I hope that you were able to learn a little bit about this Beedrill Vigoroth Lantern strategy. There's a lot of nuances. I basically saw it and then had to go learn the nuances. It's hard to explain every single thing about how to run this line. It's something that you have to go and practice. You have to put the time and effort into, and that's what I had to do to get there. I was actually worried about the Beedrill versus Vespiquen when I went into the final round. So right before that match, or right before that round, I actually went on PvPoke and made sure to look into that a little more, because I hadn't faced Beedrill versus Vespiquen that much in my practice. So I'm glad I did that, because it let me know that with those Sludge Bombs I would be able to take him down. And yeah, very GG to everyone involved. Thank you for having me. Thank you for just the great tournament. It was a really tough tournament, even though it was only 3 rounds. I played 2 challengers. I never beat 2 challengers before, and just wanted to say thank you guys. for the experience, and I got to take home a Jungle Cup gold, which, I haven't got a solo undefeated tournament victory in a few months. I got my Nightmare Cup victory where we had a 5-way tie, or a 4-way tie, 5-way, and I did really well there. But yeah, just feeling blessed and feeling loved. Yesterday was a really fun day. If you haven't, go check out the Lord Up podcast that I was on at the Pokemon Professor Network. Link's going to be in the description. I ended up doing that tournament before Community Day, and then I did Community Day, and then I left like 45 minutes early, went home and got ready, and I did the podcast with them. So I hope you enjoy it. You get to hear a lot about my future plans and dreams, a little bit about my past and my feelings, and yeah, it was a really fun time. I really enjoyed talking to the guys over there, and girls. I meant guys and girls. I had a really fun time talking to all three of you, and just want to say thank you so much for your support, and thank you as well out here watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoyed this tournament and learned a little bit about how to run this strat. If you have any particular questions about it, please feel free to comment them down below. And also, yeah, just do what you do, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, subscribe, and peace out, Bell Sprouts. Bye.